Hey, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. This is the Ohio Valley Real Estate Report brought to you by Harvey, Goodman, Realtor. My name is Johnny, and we are broadcasting live from St. Clairsville, Ohio, doing a quick sort of informal podcast this evening, just doing a reaction video to some funny videos that we found on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, you name it. So we got a playlist together. Without any further ado, we'll do a couple reaction videos and then call it an evening. But first up, here we go.
A lot of people are going to want to sell your house. But I promise you that we are the best damn realtors in town.
They're actually the only realtors in town because the rest of us pronounce it realtors.
Yeah, it's realtors.
That's what she said. Realtors. Wait, I heard the difference. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Both ways are correct.
It's not true. One way is correct and the other is profoundly ignorant.
Let's get back to the main cam. Yeah, it's pronounced realtor, not real-utter. So the general public gets this wrong all the time. I don't know where the comes from, but I hear it over and over again. It's not as intrusive as the video might seem. But what is the difference? What actually is a realtor? Well, if you're interested, all realtors are real estate agents, but not all real estate agents are realtors. So what is the difference? Well, as a realtor, we belong to an organization known as NAR, the National Association of Realtors, and the organization sets forth code of conduct and especially the code of ethics that we are obligated to adhere to. So there's different types of law. You have, starting from the smallest level, municipal law, things like your zoning and building and anything within a city ordinance, that kind of stuff. Then you have state law, statutory law, things like the Ohio Revised Code, West Virginia Revised Code, things of that nature. Then you get all the way up to the federal law, right? So, you might commit one crime, such as fraud, for example, and you might violate state law, federal law. You might be, violating multiple things at the same time. Well, NAR imposes what's known as administrative law. And that means that not only can we violate other types, federal, state, whatever, we can also be punished by NAR, things like, expulsion or even revocation of our licenses if we do something, heinous enough. Really, that's what sets us apart. So as a realtor, we are obligated to adhere to the code of ethics, and we owe specific obligations to three different sectors. We owe it to the general public. We owe it especially to our clients, our fiduciary obligations to our clients, and also to other realtors. So, for example, as a realtor, I can't just say I'm representing a buyer and go to a seller saying, you know what, I know this buyer will come up another $10,000. I owe an obligation to you as my buyer client to not disclose any pertinent information. Now, as a real estate agent, you tell me anything, I can do whatever with that information I choose. There's nothing, prohibiting me from doing that. So again, I say it all the time in these podcasts, who you work with matters. And if it's any consolation, I've actually sat on the board of directors as committee members for professional standards and guidance council and as a chairman for those councils. So the more you know. All right, next clip.
Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know. How would they know?
This is great.
How would they know? How would they know? I can't. I can't. Oh my god!
Okay, back to the main cam. Pretty brilliant. I'll give it a 8 out of 10. That's ingenious thinking. Man after my own heart. No, so what they're doing is, as realtors, all right, when we're hired to help with the sale of a property, we do basically kind of the glamour shots. We're supposed to enhance the property as much as possible. And there is this is obviously a gross exaggeration. I've never used tinfoil to try and pass off something as a stainless steel appliance, but it's not lost on me that the things I've seen, especially in the Ohio Valley, God, I love where we live. Good old Mountain Mama, Ohio Valley. Some of the stuff that I've seen of people remodeling and then to come to me and saying, hey, we just remodeled this room. I have to ask, what did it look like before? You know what I mean? It's sometimes, nothing's really stopping anybody from going to Lowe's or Menards or wherever and just becoming a do-it-yourselfer. And we have seen some stuff where I'll call it remodeled, not remodeled, remodeled. So, I haven't run across that yet, but I would not be surprised if somewhere in the Ohio Valley, someone has used tinfoil to give the appearance of a stainless steel appliance. All right, next clip.
This Highgate isn't the one in London. It's a suburb of Adelaide. But it's the advert's last sentence that brought out a local TV reporter's crusading instincts.
I'd just like to ask you a few questions about the house you've got for sale.
Well, I'd rather not answer it.
Why not?
Because I don't want to. I'm not going to spell my business to anybody over there. No.
Well, I'm not interested in how much you want for the house. I'm just interested in why you don't want any Asians
Amy,
to buy
thanks for the follow.
and move in.
Well, because the simple reason they're too lazy.
Why don't you want Asians moving into your house?
Because I don't like the Asians, that's all there is.
You don't want them, want them in your place?
They're just a mob of crooks, that's all they are.
And that there's a law against what you're doing?
Well, no one has told me that, and I mean to say even the Asians...
You think it's wrong?
Even the Asians himself, he said I can have my sign up, if I get a buyer, I can sell it.
But you won't sell it to an Asian person?
If they come up with a buyer, yes. All they're interested about is just to put the sign up. That's all. I've had agents, I haven't knocked them back.
What would... Oh, no, agents. Did you know what your size...
Oh, that's brutal.
Asians, I'm sorry. Well, that's a bad expression.
Is that what you say, no Asians?
No.
You say no agents.
Agents, sorry.
All right, let's go back. Oh man, that was a strong accent. So I can't necessarily blame the newspaper editor if they took that clipping over the phone and yeah, because I didn't hear what he was saying up until he said put the sign in the yard, and then it kind of clicked. So yeah, obviously as realtors, even as just people of the general public, people that for sale by owner, there are laws in place, fair housing laws that impose restriction. You can't just say I'm only going to sell this to a specific group of people, or I'm going to restrict from selling it to somebody. Rather, things like familiar status, things like national origin, age. You know what? Either the whole everything under the sun. And basically, this again goes back to ethics and doing what a good person would typically do. But yeah, the guy's accent was very, very strong. So I don't blame necessarily 100% of the newspaper for clipping that, because I misheard up until he said, put the sign in the yard. All right, next clip.
This is the bathroom. Yes, it is. Inside the bathroom, you have a toilet, some cabinets and shit, mirror, and a shower. Yep. You can poop in this room. Are you okay? Yeah, I don't know why I'm here. I mean, you know what a bathroom is, right? Yeah. Yeah, of course you do. Everybody does. That was half of my training right there. Half of your training? I mean, half of being a real estate agent is pointing shit out to people they can figure out for themselves. Is there a bedroom? Oh, yeah, it's right. Oh, never mind. I found it. Yeah, of course you did. Yeah, I'll take it. You'll take it? Yeah, can I move in Monday? Dude, come on, ask me something. No, it's pretty straightforward. I like it. Bro, come on. I'm about to make $25,000 on this sale. Please make me feel like I did something. Which one's hot and which one's cold? This one's cold. Ow! No, this one's hot.
All right. So, not entirely wrong, even though it is satirical. As agents, we're not necessarily supposed to be giving the bulk of advice on things like the home's condition, or people think that we just point out the obvious. In reality, we handle the single largest financial transaction you're going to make in a lifetime, and with that comes a ton of moving parts, and we're always behind the scenes pulling levers and making sure that this transaction goes smoothly. There are agents, and I've worked with plenty, that this makes me laugh because I've had to deal with similar circumstance. Just in case you're curious, hot water's on the left, cold water's supposed to be on the right. That's at least from how it's supposed to be set up. But myself, if I didn't become a realtor, I would have became an electrician. I have a very strong background. In fact, my first degree was in building preservation restoration. So I can, especially older homes, that was my first niche. I've heard realtors say to me, "Oh, this house has 220." What do you mean it has 220? Every house has 220. You mean 200 amp service? And they say, no, it has 220. They just upgraded, the electric. And they have no idea what they're even saying, so it's not lost on me. But this profession is actually one of the only that I can think of, actually, if not the only that I can think of, where if I do a good job, you won't even know that I've done anything at all, truthfully. Because you only see my value when things get rough and I'm having to come up with solutions and try to dive in and to save things. from saving people from themselves, so to speak. It's like football. When you see a game of football, you see the ball going up and down the field, you see the plays, you see everything else, but it's the coach behind the scenes that's doing pretty much all the play calling and everything else. They're just, having the players go out in the field. It was only like maybe 12 minutes of actual gameplay. The rest is the clock burning down and people making decisions behind the scenes. So, if you went to a dentist and you had your tooth pulled and you woke up and you didn't feel any pain whatsoever, you wouldn't look at that dentist and say, you know what, his job's easy. Their job's easy, right? Nobody would. You would say, oh man, they are a master of their craft, because they have so many years of experience, and I don't feel a thing. When we do our job well and you don't see all the things, it gives the appearance of our job being easy when it's actually quite the opposite. All right, let's go to the next clip.
Excuse me, is that apple for sale? Yeah, we're about to put it on sale right now, actually. Well, I'm in the market, so tell me about your apple. Why should I buy it? Nice try. Okay, people, here's how this is going to work. I have an apple here. The highest bidder's going home with this. I want all bids in the next 2 minutes, then we're closing it. Bidding starts at $5.
Feeling pretty confident there, huh? I mean, don't you
$10.
He said starting at 5.
15.
Is this a new apple?
Yeah, just listed. I'm pre-qualified. I'll pay cash. I got cash. 20, 30, 40. No, just make it 45.
Is it even worth that?
50. I don't know. Please, this is the 8th apple I've tried to buy.
Could I at least see it up close?
Nope, it's an apple. You know what it is. You either want it or you don't. I'll take it for 100.
What? I'm from California. It's the cheapest apple I've ever seen.
I knew it was coming.
120.
Why did I do that? Why? I don't.
I knew it was coming. I was waiting for the California buyer. And again, all of these being satirical, but if it wasn't some underlying truth to this, it wouldn't be funny and therefore wouldn't be, relevant. And, so there's a little bit, but man, nothing like being a seller in a seller's market, so this is not out of the realm of possibility, grossly exaggerated, but, during some very competitive times, things back when the interest rates were down to the low 3s, every buyer's cousins, whatever, twice removed came out of the woodwork, and there were way more buyers than there were sellers. Even to this day, we have a listing shortage. It's a national listing shortage, which leads to oftentimes what's referred to as a highest and best scenario. So to that extent, they're not wrong in the sense that we've seen, multiple offers with escalation clauses or highest and best and going above asking price. And those out-of-state buyers, the California buyer, the one that said that, I'm not kidding when I say this. I have represented dozens of people at this point that I've never even met, because we live in one of the cheapest places in the entire world. COVID taught a lot of people that they can work from home, in a lot of different jobs and everything else that, everything had to go online, even things like teaching and, dang near everything. So people said, well, if I can just work from home, I'll sell my house over in coastal Carolina and put it somewhere that's, ridiculously more affordable. I'll sell my house here that has lesser square footage, double the size, and pay half the mortgage because the interest rate was so low. So that has happened, and it still continues to happen to this day. All right, let's go to the next clip here. I think this is our last one.
All right, we got a 30-second showing.
30-second showing.
Nice closet. Another closet. Yeah, I like it. The guest bedroom. Oh yeah, I really like it. The guest bathroom. Oh yeah, I like this. And here you have your outdated kitchen. Yeah, it's beautiful. This makes for a great office space. And here you have a beautiful fireplace and a very spacious living room. Yeah, I like it. And this is the master bedroom. Nice man. And here you have a brand new washer and dryer. Oh yeah, it's nice.
Oh yeah, it's nice.
So what do you think? I'm definitely interested. Great, we'll write up an offer.
All right. If only, let's go back to the main cam. If only showings are that quick. Now, it plays off of the last video saying, how competitive the market can be when there's a new listing and people have to run out to it. The best way that I can describe my schedule is I can only work when other people are off of work. So listings at the market, the market changes every hour. There might be a new listing as I'm making this podcast that would fit your need. And if we don't get it before someone else does, it's gone. So there's a lot of truth to this. Again, with the over-exaggeration. But I noticed something. Let me go back to the video if I can find it here. Again, kind of being the savviness here. It looked like a section of the carpet wasn't stretched too tight. Let's go and take another closer look. think it was right here. I noticed a bunch.
Hey, here you have your
I noticed a bunch up here when he goes for the slide.
This makes for a great office
Right there.
space. And here you have a beautiful.
So just even things that, going back to my limited construction background, but the things that I try to see, trying to, going back to the other video, well, half the training is pointing out the obvious, which, again, obviously it isn't. But everybody, thank you for watching. I hope this was fun. Maybe we'll do this again on a different one. Leave your comments below. I'm Johnny from Harvey Goodman. Thanks again. Hope you have a great evening. We'll see you next time.